But yeah, back to LeBron real quick. I want to talk about this new role that apparently all of y'all want LeBron James to play now that Luka is in the building officially for training camp and all that other good stuff. And it's the secondary playmaker role. I mean, let's be real. Y'all really want me to believe, and y'all do y'all really believe? Y'all can't convince me. But do y'all really think that LeBron James is built to be a secondary playmaker? Really? How long have you been watching basketball? How long have you been following James's game to come up with the conclusion that a kid who has been the man since St. Vincent High School, St. Vincent Mary's High School, been the man, all of a sudden, he's going to be the secondary playmaker? Do y'all really want me to believe that? And y'all really believe that in your heart, regardless of who Luka is? And we're going to talk about it because there's definitely pros and cons in this scenario. But it just baffles me. You know, a secondary playmaker, for those that don't know, basically it's a player who isn't the primary initiator of the offense, but can still, create efficient scoring opportunities for their teammates, especially when the ball swings their way. You think of guys who can operate out of the second side action, manipulate weak side defenders, and punish defenses when the primary creator is trapped or really double teamed. When you think about 2025, the Lakers specifically, are really pushing this narrative that LeBron should just slide into this role, taking a back seat to Luka. And on paper, I understand where y'all coming from. I mean, Luka is 26 years of age. He could average damn near 30 points. Last year, I think he shot 61% on true shooting percentage, and he leads the. I think he led the league in usage at 36%, if I'm not mistaken. So I kind of get it, but I just don't think that LeBron is built to be a pure secondary playmaker. Can he defer? I mean, he's played with Dwayne Wade. He's played with Kyrie. He's played with Anthony Davis. Absolutely, LeBron can defer. But to put him as the 1B going into a season, and that's the vision throughout the season, I don't care that LeBron is 40-something years old, bro. It just, and and respectfully, you're putting him as a 1B to a guy who hasn't won anything. I love Luka, but Luka has not won anything on a professional level. He might have won Rookie of the Year. He might have won a scoring title. He has no MVPs. He has no championships. He has no Finals MVPs. None of that. Luka has no hardware. Now, there are pros and cons to this whole thing. And again, LeBron is not absent-minded to deferring. He is 40 years of age, entering year 23. Last year he gave you 20, about 25, 8 and 8, something like that, 34 minutes a night. But when he had to carry offensive possessions, LeBron legs gave out late in the season that time. Playing more off the ball theoretically, it does preserve his efficiency. And then you think about Luka. Luka's gravity point at the point of attack is ridiculous. Luka was top 3 in drives per game. I think, was it last year or 2 years ago? He generated like one and a half points per possession when kicking out of those drives. And LeBron is standing on the weak side. He's going to get the easiest catch and shoot looks of his life if he plays that secondary role, letting Luka pretty much be the principal in that. If I'm not mistaken, LeBron last year he hit 39% from the 3-point line on catch and shoot shots compared to 31% on pull-ups. So, let Luka do the heavy lifting can be a good argument. And third, Luka is in his physical prime. right now. I talked about how I feel like Luka right now needs to step it up and consider getting these individual accolades as well as the NBA championship. LeBron, regardless of how great he is mentally and physically, he is not in his prime. Luka is right now in his physical prime, at least. He can manipulate defenses with his pace, with his craft. He got that 6'7", 6'8" frame. When you compare his pick and roll ball handling efficiency to, um, LeBron, the numbers are saying let Luka control the ball. So on paper, yes, it does make sense to let LeBron be the secondary playmaker. Um, it gives the Lakers an offense that's pretty much balanced. It allows JJ to create some spacing and some sustainability. I get all that. But here's the cons. Here's why this shit don't make sense to me in its totality, because it's like LeBron can't be nobody's sidekick, bro. He has done this thing for 2 decades plus. I just can't see him being somebody's sidekick, especially when his claim of greatness and the greatest is not solidified. It's still being argued and debated. Some will say he's still being disrespected. LeBron only got 4 titles. I don't think LeBron could feel very good going down having a 5th title and him not really leading the charge. It'll look good on his resume, but I don't think people will put the same sauce on it if Luka wound up leading the team and got the finals MVP. How does that make LeBron look? Justo, I'm gonna get you in 1 second. I just want to get this shit off, and I'm gonna bring you up so I can get your thoughts on this. But I again, the LeBron's. Let's break this down real quick as far as the cons. I already talked about the pros, but the cons of you making LeBron be the 1B, I can't see it for 82 games. LeBron James' vision is still elite. He was top 10 in the league in potential assists per game last year alone, even at the age of 40. When James initiates the offense, the Lakers' offensive rating jumps almost 6 points higher than 100% possessions compared to when Luka alone is running the show. That's a fact. That's not a coincidence. Defenses like to load up on Luka. But when LeBron's ability to like manipulate that weak side to, run inverted pick and rolls, we're going to see, especially with DeAndre Ayton. It still bends defenses in a way that Luka alone can't. There's still a physical and an athletic difference between Luka and LeBron. You want to tell me that Luka is more athletic than LeBron, even at 40? No, I don't believe it. Number two, if you completely take the ball out of LeBron James' hands, you wasting one of the greatest initiators in basketball history. And Luka is a great initiator too. Luka is a great passer. Don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to take away from Luka, but I don't want you taking away from James. We're talking about the guy who is literally top 5 all time in assists as a forward, but he leads the league in scoring, and he's a pass first guy. LeBron has orchestrated championship offenses across 3 decades. Ice Cube want to talk about Kobe winning in playing in 2 eras. Come on, bro. You just don't reduce that to a glorified spot up shooting, bro. James, look, playoff basketball, and this is my third point. This is the third reason why I feel like you can't just totally go away from LeBron leading the charge, even with Luka. When we get to April and May, playoff basketball is all about possessive variance. The game slows down to more of a half court pace. You're able to study your team because you're playing them out of, a possibility out of 7 games in a series. Luka's going to see blitzes. Luka's going to see hedges. Luka's going to see all types of traps, especially in the later rounds, right? If LeBron isn't ready and comfortable to step back into that 1A role in them moments, the Lakers offense going to become too predictable. And predictable offenses die in May and in April. Don't even make it to June. That's the biggest thing. Identity, y'all. LeBron, regardless of him having great basketball IQ, regardless of him playing with Kyrie before, playing with Dwayne Wade, playing with Anthony Davis, even playing with Luka last year, forget what LeBron has said. Go by what LeBron has done. He has always been the guy. He's just not wired to be passive. I don't care how you trying to spin it, what you think makes sense for the Lakers. When LeBron is passive, he's just standing around in the corner too long. The rhythm dies. The Lakers, we already know that most of the role players, they just watching anyway. When you got LeBron and Luka on the floor, when you had LeBron and AD on the floor, half of these guys are just watching like they fans. When James is passive, y'all, he's just standing there. The rhythm dies. There's no energy. There's no nothing. James has to be a tone setter. Even if Luka has the higher usage out of the two, you gotta JJ has to find the blueprint of balance. And I don't think just putting James as the 1B is the answer. I don't know, y'all. I'm about to bring my boy Justo up. I know he got some things to say, but I just don't agree with y'all notion that LeBron should just take this back seat in its entirety. My blueprint for this thing would be totally different. Luka will run the opening 6 minutes of the first and third quarters. LeBron would take control of the offense when Luka sit down. That keeps them both fresh while they both maximizing their, unique playmaking styles. James in transition is still deadly. Top 15 in the league. Luka isn't a transition killer. He's a half court maestro. There's two different weapons you're dealing with LeBron and Luka. When they on the floor together, they can toggle, go back and forth. Luka dominates high pick and rolls. LeBron, he manipulates secondary actions, pick and rolls, hammer sets. The dual engine of offense is definitely championship alone. But you talk about availability, you talk about health. If somebody goes down, if something goes left, you don't want LeBron. You need LeBron to be ready at all times. James can't just relegate himself to being a secondary playmaker. They need him to be a co-primary, not no 1B, not no passenger. It has to be a 1A dynamic with Luka. Anything less than that, you're basically leaving the title 18 on the table, bro.